So it's time to bug out and you need to get out of the city. You're a city prepper and you need to go. I was thinking about this the other day because I was on the highway and was held up for nearly an hour due to a traffic accident. And the road was not even fully blocked. It was being compressed down into one lane. It was basically bottlenecked, but it took over 45 minutes to get through that bottleneck. And the traffic was backed up for miles and miles. It really does not take much to completely shut down a roadway. Now, this isn't an argument about whether or not you should bug in or out, and it's not a dig on city preppers either, because I know a lot of so-called hardcore preppers will sit there and say, oh, well, you need to get out of the city because you don't stand a chance in the city. Well, not everybody can just pick up and go. It's really as simple as that. If they could, they would, and they'd all be in the country, and then the country wouldn't be the country anymore because everybody would be there and the city would be empty. So think about it. Not everyone can just pick up and go. That's not what this argument is about. It's about how you're going to get out if you need to go. Obviously, the highways are going to be an absolute disaster if everybody decides they need to leave, especially if they are deliberately blocked off. It would not take very much for the government, for example, if they wanted to cut off access to a city or even an entire state if they wanted. All they have to do is block highways. That's simple, and people are trapped. So the highway may not be a viable option. So you think you're going to go on biking or hiking trails. If they're going to go through the trouble to block a highway, they're going to block biking and hiking trails too. And it wouldn't be that hard to cut you off that way. And it may not be safe anyways, because even if they're not blocked off, a lot of people are going to migrate that way, and you don't know who's safe to be around and who isn't in those kind of circumstances. The fewer people you make contact with under those type of circumstances, probably the better off you're going to be. So biking and hiking routes where they may be an alternative may not work out, and you may have to go from plan B to plan C. Now, a lot of people think they might follow rivers. Here's the problem with that. Even people who have no clue what they're doing are going to follow a river. Just like with the bike and hike trails, a lot of people are going to be out there. And once again, the less contact you can make with groups of other people and you don't know who they are, the better off you will be. You may have it in your mind to follow train tracks. This could be a very good option. Unless, of course, you're in a quarantine type situation where highways and other trails have been blocked off, because you can rest assured that train tracks will probably be blocked too, unless you know where there are older unused tracks that would probably be overlooked in that type of a scenario. So if you have maps of where the train tracks go and you have that as an option for getting out, try to find out where some of those older unused track lines are as well. Another possible option is following power lines out. I've mentioned this in previous videos. Power lines crisscross in and out of the state all over the place. Most people don't go anywhere near them, but the power lines can be followed and can get you out of a state. My only advice with that is be careful not to approach any actual power plants. If the power lines lead to a plant, steer clear of it, not unless you don't mind getting shot at. And one final option here, probably the best one, if you are good at orienteering, that is, if you're really good with a map and compass, you can create your own route so that you can be sure not to cross paths with anyone. Remember, the less contact you have, the better off you probably will be. If you are good at orienteering, if you can use a map and a compass really well, you can make your own route. But remember also to have backups and alternatives. If A doesn't work, you go to B and C, and even X, Y, and Z if you have to get wherever it is that you need to go. So if you've got any comments or suggestions pertaining to the video, please do put them in the comments section down below. I do try to answer as many as I can. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Emphasis on share. ScrewTube doesn't like prepper channels, and now because I've had the nerve to put SHTF in the title, I've pretty much guaranteed myself a sanction from ScrewTube because they really don't like those prepper-related acronyms. Remember, I do have another channel called Coffee Talk that has more socially oriented commentary. Please do check it out if you get the chance. I will put a link to it down below. And if you would like to help support this channel, there are links down below for that as well. So that being said, stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.